Hey guys, it's Cameron for the series premiere of the new Fox animated slash live action series, Son of Zorn. This is season 1, episode 1, Return to Orange County, and I was definitely looking forward to this episode for many reasons. I think this is one of the most anticipated fall shows of any of the, regular broadcast ones, not the cable ones. I'm talking about regular, like, network TV. This is definitely one I was most looking forward to. One, because it just looked really interesting. Two, because I thought by far this looked like it was going to be the best comedy of all the new ones, and either way, I was definitely really looking forward to it. And also the fact that it was Phil Lord and Chris Miller, that also made me very interested. But I was a bit worried, because I was worried that the show was going to let me down. It is Fox, and I know how a lot of their comedies tend to be. But I have to say, after watching this first episode, I was very impressed with this show. I really did love what this first episode had to offer. I don't think this was a perfect start, I won't say that, but I overall really did enjoy it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the rest of this series, and I'm very happy that they actually did premiere this show, earlier than September 25th. If you guys don't know, the show doesn't officially premiere until September 25th, but they showed the first episode today, and I thought it was kind of cool the way they did that. But let's get into this first episode overall. First of all, the plot of Son of Zorn, fairly simple. We focus on the character of Zorn. He is your typical, like, He-Man type animated character. He lives in Zephyria, and it's his son's birthday, who he hasn't visited in quite a few years, and he realizes that his son is turning 17. He comes back to California. His entire family is actually regular human beings like you and I are, unlike him, who's a cartoon. And he basically has a hard time connecting to his son, who has grown up and kind of is embarrassed by Zorn, but also realizing that his ex-wife now has a fiance, and that basically is the plot of Son of Zorn overall. There's a lot more to the show than that, but let's just get into the series premiere overall, because there's a lot of great stuff about this that I definitely do want to talk about. Something that drew me in right away in this show was the cast. I thought the cast looked very solid, and really everyone did a great job. But by far, the standout here, without a doubt, is Jason Sudeikis as Zorn. It is about time that Jason Sudeikis comes back to TV. He has been doing many movies, and I'm very happy to see that he has a TV show, and I really feel this is the perfect role for him as Zorn. Zorn is a character that sounds like something that we've seen before and could come across as very contrived, but what I really like about his character is that he's not just a big joke. While it is kind of silly to see someone like Zorn, it kind of reminds me of what they did with, say, like BoJack Horseman, where you have a character and it's ridiculous. Yes, he's a horse. They find a way to humanize him, and honestly, you do feel bad for Zorn. Zorn is someone who's gotten very preoccupied in his life in Zephyria. Things obviously are very different on Earth, and just seeing him make this transition obviously is funny, but there's something kind of sad about as well. The fact that he's lost touch with his son, the fact he's trying to get back into the good graces of his family. I really did like seeing overall. I think he nailed it at this part. I really did love Jason Sudeikis in this role, and I really couldn't think of anyone else playing this character. He really, like, you see the character's like, oh yeah, that's totally Jason Sudeikis, and yes, the fact he's animated, it's hilarious, and Zorn had so many funny scenes in this episode, but like I said, they also found a way to make him kind of relatable, and you definitely do feel bad for him as well. So I really love what they did with his character. He did a very good job, and I can't wait to see more of this character in later episodes. He really was fantastic. Now, while Jason Sudeikis is the thing that I think we're all looking forward to on the show, Johnny Pemberton is the titular character. He is the son of Zorn. The thing is, though, the trailer didn't show a ton of his character, so we didn't really get to see a ton of him, and I gotta say, I really did love the character of Alan. I thought overall, he was a very fascinating character, because this is someone who you gotta put himself in this kid's shoes. I mean, he's someone who hasn't seen his father a lot. He's someone who, really does care about his father, but he's also someone who's grown up, and I thought the relation between these two, while it is kind of tense, you can tell that Zorn is trying, and I like that it wasn't just a ridiculous situation. It was something where he is actually trying, and I thought the way that, he's embarrassed of Zorn, it definitely does make sense. Obviously, he's grown up, he's a teenager, and I like the way that was handled overall. But also this really unique twist with him at the end of the episode, that he actually has animated legs. I thought that was, as funny as it is, it honestly is kind of interesting, and I'm looking forward to see that vulnerability in him. That's clearly something he doesn't want anyone to know about, and I think something he's hidden, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that is going to affect his character overall. But I really did love the chemistry between him and Jason Sudeikis. You really do believe that these two are father and son. And again, as ridiculous as it is, it's somehow very believable. You can really believe that these two actually are father and son, and that they actually do have this very estranged relationship. And you do feel bad for both of them. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this relationship. I hope that Zorn is going to be able to, you know, prove to his son that he does care about him. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of what they do with this relationship as the show goes on. Cheryl Hines is someone else that I knew from the trailer was going to be great, and I really do love her character. She isn't as, I think, tentative of Zorn as the trailer made out to be, because she definitely does think that Zorn is trying. She definitely does know that Zorn is trying to help, you know, his son. She's not as bitchy as the trailer indicated either, and I really did like that. I mean, obviously, there are certain things that she doesn't like, but she generally does care about him. She just kind of wishes that he had a different life. I think she wishes that her life was different, and she, you know, you can tell, obviously doesn't want to live in that world. She wants to be a normal human, and, you know, we saw some good stuff with her character. I'm looking forward to seeing more of what her and Zorn's marriage was like, because it really doesn't seem like it was the greatest of marriages, and I really did like her character overall. I thought she did a very good job. The only character I didn't like in this episode, to be honest, is Tim Meadows. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Tim Meadows. I think he's very funny most of the time. In this, though, I just thought the guy was a bit of a softie, honestly, and I'm not saying that he was bad in this episode. I'm just worried that he's going to get annoying. I really am. I'm worried this is going to be a character that constantly just like, oh, watch out for your safety and watch out for this, and I really am not going to like it if that's all his character is, because right now, to me, he just seems like a big joke. He just seems like someone who is the normal guy who's, you know, really just concerned, and he's I believe they say was a psychologist and things like that. I like his character over. I don't dislike, you know, Tim Meadows' performance. I think he did a good job. Just the character overall, I am worried he's going to get a little bit annoying, but we'll have to see what happens with that. I liked what they did with Zorn and his character overall. Just to me personally, I just am worried that he's getting a little bit annoying. Now, maybe he won't. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that character. But right now, like I said, I'm just worried he's getting a little bit annoying. We'll have to see what happens with that. But overall, I thought this cast was very solid. I thought they all did a very good job, and definitely looking forward to seeing how the cast can be, especially in when you have many family shows like this on TV. It's actually very refreshing to see a very different take on it like this one. I really appreciate the show for going in a very strange direction. So as good as the cast is, for me, the thing I think that makes this show as good as it is, and the thing that makes it as interesting as it is, and I think the thing that made us most looking forward to it, is that it's by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are the minds behind this, and I really could not see anyone else pulling this off as good as them. They just do a great job with getting into something that's really ridiculous and weird, and somehow making it very humane and kind of profound, honestly, and I feel like that's what they want to do with this show. I heard Last Man on Earth is very much like that. I've heard that many of their stuff is very much like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they end up doing with this show, because I really love what they had to do here. I thought that they really had a great tone throughout this, and it's just a lot of fun. I really found myself having a lot of fun with this show. The writing, I thought, was really spot on. I was laughing several times throughout this. Now, yes, many of the laughs were in the trailer, but there was some stuff that wasn't, and I like that they definitely kept that reveal at the end of the episode hidden. That's something I did not know, and something I was definitely interested in seeing where that's going to go. You know, this kind of like deformity or vulnerability, whatever you want to call it, that's something I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens with that. But something I also really loved, I thought, was, like I said, that they do take this seriously. I thought this was going to be a completely ridiculous show, and I'm happy to say that it's not. There is stuff that they are taking seriously, because really, even though the show is silly, and it is definitely a ridiculous concept, it really is about a father coming to the reality that his son has grown up without him, and him realizing that a lot of the things he could do with his son when he was younger, he can't do now. And it's honestly kind of sad to see. For me, probably the best scene in this episode, besides the funny scenes, the best scene in this episode is the scene where Zorn is at work, and he's on his computer, and he's seeing this memory of things he used to do with his son. And yes, it's silly and everything, but again, this is something that he used to do with his son. They used to have this great relationship, but now his son has grown up. He's not who he remembers him to be, and Zorn's gonna have to cope with this, and it's gonna definitely be a hard realization for Zorn to have. I think for any parent, that's hard to think about it, but especially if you're a divorced parent, someone who hasn't really been in their child's life, I think that's something the show actually portrayed pretty well. The idea of divorce it is a very cliche topic nowadays because you've seen in so many things. But this show somehow made it fresh. It made original. And I really comment the show on that. I honestly really got into that story, and I felt really bad for Zorn in that situation. I didn't really think they were going to do that, but I really did love the way that was done. I thought that was fantastic. The animation for what we saw, very brief in the beginning, I thought looked fantastic, honestly. I'm very happy that this is hand-drawn animation. That's not 3D animation, because it's very rare that you see hand-drawn animation nowadays. But I'm happy to see that this is hand-drawn, and it looks fantastic. It looks like something from, like, the 90s, like, say, like, He-Man or something like that, and I thought that was a lot of fun to watch. I definitely did enjoy that overall. And I thought, like I said, the contrast between the animation and the live action, they didn't make it too gimmicky. Like, there definitely are some jokes, but there's always substance to it, and it's not at all style over substance. And I'm happy to say, I was worried the show was going to be that way, but I don't really think the show is going to do that. Maybe some of the jokes are going to get a little bit old, but for right now, I think they're working pretty well, and especially the fact they have only 13 episodes, I think because of that, they definitely know what they're doing, and I think that's something that I'm definitely very happy with. Like I said, Last Man on Earth really has also benefited from a limited amount of episodes, and I feel like this, I haven't seen that show, but I heard it's really good, and I feel like this show as well will benefit for the same reason, so definitely looking forward to that. I think the score here was great. Definitely really did enjoy the score overall. Very cartoony. And what I do like is that the way the show stands out from the other Sunday shows, you can tell that Fox is trying to do other stuff. They've heard people complain that these animated shows just aren't working. They're all crude and silly. But then you have stuff like Bob's Burgers, which I heard is kind of a very human show. You have Last Man on Earth, which is all live action. Now you have this show, which is really unlike anything I've seen on TV. I mean, I've seen things like this obviously in movies, but on TV, I can't really recall a time I saw something like this. I mean, yes, there are things like BoJack Horseman in there, definitely in this show, but I haven't seen it quite like you have in this show, and I definitely do appreciate the show for doing that. I think this episode flew by for me. I was into it the whole time. Definitely really did enjoy it. The editing was fine. I really didn't have any complaints with that, and overall, it just made me really excited for future, the next episodes are going to be, because I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that's going to be overall. Overall, guys, I really enjoyed this premiere. I thought it was very well done. Like I said, I was a bit worried that the show was going to be a little bit silly, but it is silly, but I thought it was a good kind of silly. It definitely worked for what it needed to do. I thought that they made us care about this relationship very well, and again, I really did love that ending reveal with Alan, something I really did not expect to happen at the end. I thought was very well handled. But overall, guys, in my review, let me know what you guys saw this first episode overall. Are you going to be watching the rest of the show? I was very impressed by it. I can understand if you guys didn't like it, but I was very impressed by it overall. I really did love the direction this is going, and I will definitely be checking out the rest of the episodes. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in my next show, which will be for Fear the Walking Dead, which, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if Fear the Walking Dead is not great tonight, I might just drop the show. It's really frustrating me. I really am trying to figure out why I'm still watching it, because every week it frustrates me more and more. But maybe this week's episode will be great all the way through. I'm tired of just, one storyline's great, the other ones aren't, but we'll have to see what happens. But again, if it's not great, then I might just drop the show altogether, but we'll have to see. But that's my review. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you guys for Fear Walking Dead. We'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.